WNBA free agency is officially underway, Annie. So when you see these names and the options that the Sky have, what do you think that they're cooking up?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Angel and Camilla are very interesting pieces. And when you're talking about, getting the right players in here, there is intrigue when you have young core pieces like that, because you could be part of developing them and developing towards a title contending season. But the reality is the Sky are still very far from.
Angel Reese confidently sat down for her podcast, proclaiming that she was building a powerhouse in Chicago. Fast forward to today, and the situation couldn't be more different. Free agency has been in full swing, yet Chicago's roster remains almost completely empty. The top free agents have weighed their options and made it clear they want nothing to do with the Sky.
Don't get told no. You're gonna get the yeses, you're gonna get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's gonna come.
Not a single all-star has been swayed to join the Sky. While other teams have stacked up with top-tier talent, Chicago has been left scrambling for solutions. Free agency was supposed to be Reese's opportunity to build a championship-caliber squad, especially after all the recruiting she did over at Unrivaled. Instead, it's turning into a harsh reality check. Would this be the ultimate sign that players around the league just aren't interested in whatever Reese is trying to build in Chicago? Let's take a closer look at how this free agency fiasco unfolded.
The whole city is obsessed with you.
I know. I love it
all
here.
the time.
I feel like Baltimore here. I love it here.
Kind of. A little bit, little DMV action. But Chicago is a number 3 market in the country.
Really?
It's New York, LA, and then Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, y'all have everything. I'm not gonna lie, y'all have everything here. It's nothing here that I'm like, oh, I gotta go to a different city for. Everything is here.
Angel Reese boldly declared she was going to build a super team in Chicago. But now, with free agency in full swing, the only thing the Sky have built is a roster full of uncertainty. Imagine Reese scrolling through her contacts, sending messages and making calls, only to check her phone and find nothing but unread texts and polite rejections.
And Camila Cardoso, too, have brought relevance to this team that they've desperately needed in a time when, again, if not for them, they'd be completely irrelevant because of the product that they're putting on the floor.
And also make Chicago an attractive spot when you have Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso right there, two bigs that really shine in their rookies.
You'd expect that with so many top-tier free agents on the market, at least one would be heading to Chicago, right? Wrong. The silence has been deafening. No major signings, no excited tweets, and no championship-caliber players heading to the Windy City. Just Reese, left wondering what went wrong.
So, lads, this is not great news, for the Chicago Sky, who are a team that obviously, they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding. The problem is, they don't own their pick. So if the Chicago Sky run it back, they're probably not making the playoffs next year. Look, I think there's going to be an improvement from Angel Reese. I think it's going to be an improvement from Cardoso. But that team with no Kennedy Carter, it's going to be real tough to get any off.
Let's take a look at the names that were available. Kelsey Plum, Jewel Lloyd, Brittany Griner, Alyssa Thomas, Dana Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sutta Sabali, and Kelsey Mitchell. These are the kinds of players who can transform a franchise overnight. And how many of them seriously considered Chicago? Not a single one. Maybe there was still hope, maybe Ree had something up her sleeve that no one saw coming. But now that most of the big names have found new homes, it's clear, Chicago was never a destination for top talent. Reese's grand recruiting plan wasn't just a failure, it was a complete disaster.
Oh, not a good day for the Chicago Sky. Not a good day at all, because we have heard news from the journalist who reports on the WNBA, and because she is not a homer like a lot of the other people, normally journalists are complete homers for one team. One of the actual credible journalists reported on something. Sky fans aren't happy.
To make matters worse, the Sky front office didn't do Ree any favors either. Their leading scorer, Kennedy Carter, didn't even receive a qualifying offer. The message was clear, Chicago wasn't serious about keeping its top players, let alone attracting new ones. And those trade rumors, they went nowhere fast. It's almost as if, the moment Ree tried to pitch the super team vision, free agents couldn't get away fast enough.
An incredible season for us last year, says the GM. She's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level in our league. We absolutely appreciate all she did for our team last year. However, we've made changes to our staff and we'll make changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free.
So where does this leave Angel Ree, the so-called superstar who was supposed to bring elite talent to Chicago? Well, she might end up leading a team of role players and rookies instead. This isn't the powerhouse she envisioned, it's a harsh wake-up call. So what went wrong? Why did every top free agent take one look at Chicago and decide it wasn't worth their time? Let's break it all down.
Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? Their best shooter out of town? Because Kennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
While Angel Reese was hyping up Chicago as the next WNBA powerhouse, the top free agents were making moves that left the Sky behind. Imagine a frenzy of signings across the league, with superstars choosing destinations that had everything Chicago lacked: stability, leadership, and a legitimate shot at winning. Let's take a closer look at where the stars decided to shine.
Seattle Storm are sending Jewel Lloyd to the Las Vegas Aces in a blockbuster 3-team trade that moves Kelsey Plum to the LA Sparks. That's according to ESPN. As part of the deal, Seattle receives the second pick in this year's WNBA draft from LA in exchange for the Storm's number 9 pick, while the Aces also receive the 13th pick, a second-round selection from the Sparks.
First up, we have Kelsey Plum. You remember her, right? The sharpshooter who played a key role in Las Vegas's back-to-back championships. Well, she's heading to Los Angeles. That's right, the Sparks just became a serious contender. So why LA over Chicago? It's simple: elite coaching, a front office that actually knows what it's doing, and a franchise that isn't in complete chaos. Sorry, Angel, but if that stings, what happened with Jewel Lloyd had to be downright humiliating. Lloyd, a Chicago native, had the perfect chance to return home and play for her city. If teaming up with Angel Reese was so enticing, this should have been a no-brainer, right? Wrong. Lloyd took one look at the Sky's situation and bolted straight to Las Vegas, where she'll be joining forces with Aya Wilson. That's right, she chose to chase championships over whatever mess is unfolding in Chicago.
According to WNBA Insider, that Illinois native Jewel Lloyd will not be going to Chicago Sky. And obviously they didn't keep Kennedy Carter. And it's looking like one player, obviously, that's willing to Chicago across her careers because of her Illinois roots, is Seattle Storm guard.
Then there's Brittney Griner, the dominant center who can dunk the ball. She's heading to Atlanta, joining a dream team that just got even more dangerous. Meanwhile, Alyssa Thomas, the queen of triple-doubles, is now calling Phoenix home. Notice a pattern here? These players didn't just avoid Chicago, they chose teams with clear direction and strong leadership. Teams where they could thrive, not waste time dealing with locker room drama.
The 3 big names you gotta know: Alyssa Thomas, Natasha Cloud, Brittney Griner. Let's start with Brittney Griner, joining Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard in Atlanta. Dream team? Brittney Griner was drafted to Phoenix in 2013, so it's kind of about time, and I'm so excited to see what Atlanta turns around this next season, because they really need her. Phoenix is also losing Natasha Cloud and Beck Allen, along with the number 12 pick overall in this year's draft, to Connecticut. Connecticut is giving up the triple-double queen, Alyssa Thomas, and...
Speaking of Phoenix, things get even worse for Angel Reese. Not only did Alyssa Thomas land there, but she'll be teaming up with Sada Sabali, a dangerous duo that instantly elevates the Mercury. But here's where the real pain hits: while Angel Reese was busy trying and failing to recruit, the Indiana Fever were out here actually building a championship-caliber roster. The Fever just pulled off the ultimate offseason overhaul, bringing in battle-tested veterans like Natasha Howard, Dana Bonner, Sydney Coulson, and Sophie Cunningham. They even snatched Reese's own teammate, Brianna Turner, right from under her nose. And as if that wasn't enough, they re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. Indiana just went from a promising young squad to a legitimate title contender, while Chicago stood still.
Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any sense.
So what does all of this mean? It means Angel Reese talked a big game, but the real stars weren't buying it. Not only did these top free agents reject Chicago, but they actively strengthened the teams that will be standing in the Sky's way. It's almost as if they saw the warning signs and decided to avoid the drama before it even started. But wait, there's one more move that could be the final blow to Angel Reese's so-called super team dreams. Want to hear more? Once boasting about turning Chicago into a powerhouse, Angel Reese now finds herself staring at empty lockers and unanswered texts. The reality is sinking in. Her dream of recruiting top-tier talent is quickly becoming a nightmare. It's starting to feel less like an all-star squad and more like a pickup team at the local YMCA.
Trying to give myself some grace because I know I'm not the player that I want to be just yet, but also kind of patting myself in the back, telling myself that I'm still.
Let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the lack of elite talent at the Sky's practice facility. Did you know that Chicago's current setup is like practicing in a high school gym compared to the rest of the WNBA? While teams like the Fever, Liberty, and Aces are training in state-of-the-art facilities, the Sky are stuck in a time warp. And that much-anticipated new facility won't be ready until 2026. In a league that's evolving faster than ever, that might as well be a decade away.
Every woman should be able to step in and be able to go into a locker room and be able to have a safe space, or go into a gym at 3 o'clock in the morning when they want to do that. So I want to be able to just.
And things only get worse when you look at their record. Remember when the Sky were legitimate playoff contenders? Well, last season they collapsed harder than a flimsy lawn chair, finishing with 13 wins and 27 losses, their worst record since 2020. And this is after adding a so-called generational rookie in Angel Reese. Turns out, hype doesn't win games.
It's been great being able to see my impact on and off the court, and not just in sports, but just being able to be a cultural impact as well has just been.
But wait, it gets even messier. Reports suggest the Sky's locker room chemistry is as chaotic as a reality TV show. And who's stirring the pot? Angel Reese. Instead of making Chicago an attractive destination for free agents, she's driving talent away faster than a bad Wi-Fi signal. Gabby Williams, whom Reese personally tried to recruit, flatly said, "Thanks, but no thanks." Even Kennedy Carter, who isn't exactly known for holding back, didn't hesitate to share her thoughts on Reese before she left.
According to league sources, Weatherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players.
And speaking of dysfunction, let's talk about the Sky's front office. It's like a revolving door at a fast food restaurant, people coming and going with zero stability. No wonder WNBA analyst Annie Costil pointed out that free agents are wary of Chicago's instability. Who would willingly sign up for this mess? So, where does that leave Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky? Not in a good spot. While teams like the Fever are building legitimate dynasties, the Sky can't even get players to return their calls. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck, painful, but impossible to ignore.
Can't help but wonder, is that what happened here? Is Angel Reese and the way she wants to play, and I don't know if you've ever noticed her social media posts, but she's very me, always. Me. Well, you may have a player that has decided that she's
Angel Reese loves to talk about how people tune in for her, but reality just delivered a brutal wake-up call. The numbers don't lie, folks. The WNBA's biggest draw isn't Angel Reese, it's Caitlin Clark. Let's break it down.
Throughout the year, WNBA players were demanding to be given credit for elevating the league. Angel Reese claimed that she was along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media. They wanted us to believe that the WNBA was exploding in popularity. They wanted to keep all the credit for themselves while downplaying the impact of the only star in the league, Kate.
Picture this, game night in Chicago. Angel Reese and the Sky are on the court, but the seats? They're emptier than a high school study hall during summer break. The TV ratings? Let's just say you'd have better luck finding a blockbuster hit on public access television. But the second Caitlin Clark and the Fever roll into town, suddenly, it's standing room only. The contrast? Embarrassing. But hold on, Reese defenders might argue, but Angel is a double-double machine. She's a rebounding force. Sure, she's grabbing boards, but when it comes to grabbing fans, not so much. The Sky's attendance numbers tell a story, and it's not exactly a bestseller. Man just isn't there. Not for Angel, not for the Sky.
Well, now, jealous WNBA players will have the opportunity to earn that credit. Now, players like Angel Reese, they will be given the chance to test their
And then there's Unrivaled, the much-hyped 3-on-3 league where Reese was supposed to showcase her star power. Well, the numbers are in, and let's just say they're barely registering a pulse. Less than 100,000 viewers tuned in for Reese's games. Yep, you heard that right, 6 figures weren't even needed to count them. That's not a typo, folks. The league that was supposed to be a game changer is starting to look more like a forgettable side project.
It is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look, let's be honest, we can sugarcoat it all you want, but if you don't have Caitlin Clark playing women's basketball, or if you're not the NCAA tournament playing women's basketball, you got nothing. Zero.
So, what does all of this mean for Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky? Pressure, a lot of it. With no big-name free agents coming to her aid, Reese is going to have to back up all that talk. Can she really become the face of the league like she claims? Or is she about to be left holding an empty arena, flipping through TV channels, wondering where her audience went?
Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
Here's the cold, hard truth: Reese's star power isn't filling seats. It's like trying to light up a stadium with a flashlight, not happening. Even WNBA analyst Annie Costil kept it real, saying, Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso have brought relevance to this team that they've desperately needed. Without them, they'd be completely irrelevant because of the product they're putting on the floor. Translation: the Sky were already a mess before Reese showed up, and her arrival hasn't exactly fixed that. Chicago needed a true superstar to turn things around, and so far, Angel Reese hasn't been that player.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to...
As free agency winds down, Angel Reese is staring down the most important season of her career. Remember when she boldly proclaimed she was building a super team? Well, that dream crashed harder than one of her missed layups. No All-Stars are coming, no reinforcements are on the way. Now, she's got one option left: prove she's a franchise player or fade into irrelevance. But here's the bigger picture: this isn't just about Angel anymore. The Sky's free agency disaster highlights a major reality check for the WNBA. A single player doesn't build a championship team, it takes smart front office decisions, elite facilities, and a winning culture. And right now, Chicago is failing on all three fronts. So, as the new season approaches, all eyes are on the Windy City. Can Angel Reese actually elevate the Sky? Or was all that talk just empty noise? Because if she doesn't deliver, her WNBA career might be heading for an even bigger flop than her free agency recruitment tour. Are you ready for the Angel Reese train wreck? Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.